Strauss & Company is pleased to present its first offering for 2022, a prestigious non-commercial exhibition titled Giving Direction, Figuration, Past and Present, which will be on display at the historic homestead of Welgemeend in Cape Town from 14 to 20 February, and this will be taking place at the same time as the Cape Town Art Fair Week.
The exhibition is not a historical survey of figuration on the continent, but rather a way to unpack some critical themes that come out of artistic creation using the figure in African art.
This exhibition aims to explore and illustrate figuration as a conceptual thread which links traditional, historical, modernist and contemporary African art through the showcasing of museum-quality works by important African artists.
An interesting aspect of the exhibition is that we've included historical and traditional art from Africa, mainly from West and Central and some Southern African examples, like this West African example from what is now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo. This is a mboko by the cultural community, the Luba, and it shows the types of figurative exploration that were being produced in that area in the late 19th and early 20th century. Quite interestingly, a lot of contemporary artists that are also on our show, like Deborah Bell and Eddie Alunga, have referenced traditional historical material culture in their work.
Examples by prominent 20th century African artists include two beautiful portraits by the masters of African art, Bruce Onabrakapea and Ben Nwanru, as well as sculptural examples by Sydney Kamalo and Ezram Lachai. There are also important works on paper in this exhibition by renowned South African artists Ephraim Ngatani as well as Ernest Mankoba.
I'm very excited about this particular piece that is on exhibit. We don't often get to see the work by Ben Nwanru in South Africa, and to see a work like this in the flesh is something art historians always dream of. This work, Girls in Waiting, is a seminal piece from his production, produced in 1959, and shows a really interesting take on the body and the female body in the elongation and the dark skin and ideas of what beauty is. What is really interesting about Ben Nwanru at the time of production of work such as this, he was heavily criticized by the Western world for being a copycat modernist, but you can see now, and it's gladly been recognized by art historians since then, that this is actually not the case and that the exploration of modernism was completely on his own terms and in a way that's uniquely to him as an artist.
These African modernists and their representation of figuration made way for several African contemporary artists to lead the way globally in the African and international art market at the moment. Strauss & Co is very pleased to be able to introduce some of these contemporary artists who are doing really well in the international market at the moment in this exhibition, and some of these examples include artists such as Portia Zvavahera, as well as Yinka Shonibari, Billy Zangewa, Cinga Samson, and of course William Kentridge. As mentioned in the foreword of this exhibition catalogue by writer and curator Nkgopeleng Moloi, through works that span multiple generations and geographies, this exhibition reminds us that the figure continuously reinvents itself in various ways depending on the context and what it is called to do. Formal legacies of figuration are recontextualized, reread and reimagined. The works of Belly Zangewa and Dada Kanyisa's figures are captured in the banality of everyday activities, while Cinga Samson's figures are otherworldly, fantastical creatures made in the image of their creator to evoke contemporaneity rooted in dreamlands. While the work of Portia Zvavahera and her figures push recognizable imagery to the limits. Through these works we can recognize the extent to which it is impossible to formulate concrete conclusions on figuration as a visual strategy, aesthetic category and as praxis.
What's really important about this exhibition is that it shows an enormous diversity of the way the figure can be used. And it shows that African art can't be seen as producing one type of figuration, that actually there are many different ways and huge diversity and range in artistic production on the continent. Join me for a tour of this exhibition anytime between the 14th and the 20th of February. We will be available from 9 to 4. There is no entrance fee and everyone is welcome.